welcome to this edition of the Entrepreneur's Edge. I'm your host, Janice McLean Deloach, and here today we are at Crain's New York Expo, and here with me I have Andy Stensler, whose company is called Kidville, New York. So I'd like to say hello, Andy, and thank you for talking to Entrepreneur's Edge today. Talk to me a little bit about what is Kidville, New York?
Kidville is a place for 0 through 5-year-old children. They go to music class, dance class, art, gym, a whole host of things. We've also got a full-scale 50-seat cafe, retail store, salon. It's a whole emporium for kids and their parents.
How did you get started with Kidville, New York?
Well, my wife, we had a little girl about 3 years ago, and my wife came home from her first class, and she had to carry her stroller down a flight of stairs into a dirty and dingy converted dance studio, and that's where her class was. And sure enough, she was on the wait list to get into this class.
Wow, that's fun.
She came back, and she was like, there's got to be a better way, and the idea for Kidville was born.
And what is your background? You said you were an entrepreneur, so tell me a little bit about your background, yourself, and maybe your wife as well, so we can understand what gave you the drive and ambition to go after this.
Well, my wife is a Syracuse graduate in communications from the Newhouse School, and she's also started her own PR firm about 8 years ago. And I had started a restaurant chain that started here in the city called Cozy Sandwiches. And so we had prior businesses, and Cherry still, of course, owns her PR firm, and now we've got Kidville.
The other thing I want to know is what brings you to Crain's today? We're here at the Crain's Business Expo in New York, and I understand you guys were speakers today. And let's talk a little bit about what you guys talked about today.
Well, we talked about growth tales. What I think the purpose of us coming was there's a lot of budding or would-be entrepreneurs out there, and Crain's puts on an excellent conference where they have an opportunity to learn about different businesses and have a business networking event like they do here, and also to sit in on some seminars about small businesses and to learn, what does it take to get them going and to continue them on.
Now, there was some talk on another show, I'm not going to tell you what show that was, but some people feel that children that young are too young to learn or be exposed to that kind of environment, but you seem to thrive on that. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, I think the trend across America is to get your children exposed as early as possible to arts and education, and not just the arts, but also socialization. So to be around other children their age, to be around other families their age. So I think what you're seeing here in New York City is really part of the national trend to really give your kids a head start and a chance to interact and really be part of society.
Now, this is something that I liked about your school and what you talked about. There's also part of your program that involves the parents, and there's a nail salon, right?
Sure.
Okay, talk about that.
Well, what we do, sometimes our kids are 3 through 5, and they don't have mom or nanny or dad in the class with them. So we have to give them something to do during that time period. So it's a quick time to get your nail job done out of the way, and so we gave them also a cafe and a retail store, and you can get various little things done, convenience things that parents need while their kids are in class, or either before or after class with their kids.
If people would like to locate you or find out more about your company or contact you, where would they go? Can you give us a website and contact number?
www.kidvilleny.com.
Okay. Andy Stensler, thank you, my pleasure, and thank you for talking to Entrepreneur's Edge.
Thank you.
And here with me I have a wonderful gentleman I'd like to talk to, and we're going to find out a little bit more about who he is. His name is Lee Silverman, and his company is called Jack Rabbit Sports. So welcome, Lee.
Thank you.
Let's talk a little bit about Lee Silverman and why you became interested in starting Jack Rabbit Sports.
Sure. I spent about 10 years in the high-tech industry, and anyone who works in that kind of field knows how stressful it is. That led me to put on a lot of weight, get really unhealthy. So a couple years ago, I found running as a sport and got into it, absolutely fell in love with it. Helped me lose about 60 pounds, helped me go from not being able to run up a flight of stairs to being able to run the New York City Marathon. And I really wanted to share that experience with the rest of the world. And that helped me form Jack Rabbit. I opened our first store on Park Slope in Brooklyn, very community-oriented neighborhood. Have been very, very supportive, and that's helped me build the base to launch our new store in Manhattan in sometime around Christmas of this year.
What steps did you take to bring you to where you are today? Because there are a lot of people who watch and they want to know, okay, well, you did that and that's great. How long did it take you? What steps did you use? Let's talk a little bit about that.
Sure. I decided to make the jump in January of 2003. We didn't open until December of 2003. So that'll give you some idea of the total time scale. The first 3 months of that were really sitting down writing a business plan. I actually, they tell you to do that and all the literature that you read. It's really, really helpful to do. It helped me realize what questions I needed to ask, what things I already knew, what I didn't know.
So we're 2003, and you've done your business plan. Then where did we go after that?
After that, every indication was pointing me toward I need to find a location. So the next step was to isolate the areas that I wanted to be in, specific blocks on specific avenues in Park Slope. And number one, looking at the real estate agencies, and number two, just looking for rent signs in the window. And that's actually how I found the space that I'm in. Beginning of October, signed the lease, about 30 to 45 days of construction, I don't even remember, during which time I'm working with the contractor, I'm ordering product, I'm trying to hire staff, I'm putting in computers, I'm doing 100-hour weeks for 8 weeks or so. Opened right in the middle of Christmas season. We opened December 6th of 2003 with practically nothing in the store, but very quickly brought some stuff in. And then kind of surviving through the winter months to see through to spring, when our business really started taking off in spring of 2004.
Okay. Now, I know you did your homework on the shoes. Why running shoes? I mean, I know it was about the exercise and the health thing, but you could have done clothing, you could have done, headphones. Why the shoes?
Well, shoes is really our focus. We also sell apparel, we have accessories, we have electronics, we have a number of other products that runners and cyclists and swimmers would want. But runners are very frustrated with trying to find the right shoes. It turns out if you're a runner, there's a very wide variety of technical aspects to the shoes that most people don't understand. And when I looked at how other companies were presenting those technical aspects, I found a lot of that presentation lacking and the customer experience lacking. So I put together a program where when a customer comes into Jackrabbit, we actually put them on a treadmill, we videotape them on the treadmill, we do a digital still frame playback of that analysis, so the customer is part of the process of figuring out which shoe is doing the best job for them in helping them run the most naturally they can.
What makes your business stand out, which I understand, and we have a cheering section, but they're on break right now, so we're going to say hey to the Crain staff there, because we understand that Lee's store is expanding by leaps and bounds, and I think maybe that's what makes you stand out, because you have more of a personalized customer service niche. Is that what you think is helping you expand so quickly?
That's absolutely the way we differentiate from our competitors. There's a lot of places you can find exactly the same product we have in the store. You can get online and find every single product we have, and you can probably find it for less money. What I've found is that people are willing to pay a couple of extra dollars to work with someone to help them find the right product for them, and that's really what we do.
Lee, it sounds like a great concept, and I wish you much success, and I understand you're moving to Manhattan now?
Yes.
If people want to contact you, where would they go? Do you have a website or a number we can leave?
We do have a website. It's abbreviated. It's jackrbt.com, www.jackrbt.com. Right now it highlights the Brooklyn store. In a couple of weeks you'll see the Manhattan store there as well.
Listen, Lee, again, thank you. My pleasure for speaking with you. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
And thank you to the cheering staff at Crain's back there, who, by the way, coming up, we're going to be talking to their publisher, Alaire Townsend. So stay tuned. We'll be right back to Entrepreneur's Edge.